amazing. It's all love on my end for New York City.
He won his first championship 8 years ago here at the Barclays Center.
Gervonta Davis at 22 becomes the youngest champion in boxing.
5 years later, he sent Rolly Romero crashing through the ropes, leaving a permanent mark on Rolly's once flawless record. Born and raised in Baltimore, record of 30-0. Gervonta's charisma and style in and out the ring have captivated boxing fans and attracted a whole new wave of supporters to the sport. Just 40 miles away from D.C., his opponent Lamont Roach is no stranger to Tank.
The rivalry between D.C. and Baltimore is a natural competitiveness. In the history of boxing, that a D.C. world champion is fighting a Baltimore champion is huge.
With relentless training, hard-earned skills, and lessons from both victory and defeat, Lamont Roach believes he has what it takes to become a two-division world champion. Tonight, it's B-More vs. DC as Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach battle for the WBA lightweight world title at the iconic Barclays Center.
It's time to go. I'm ready to get it on.
Fucking you and your people's up, Slim.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Premier Boxing Champions. Junior. Pacquiao!
Gervonta Davis drops Ryan Garcia. Tremendous close to this fight.
This is Premier Boxing Champions.
Welcome to New York City. The PBC, well, it's back in one of our favorite venues, Barclays Center, here in the beautiful borough of Brooklyn. We've got 3 preliminary fights for you here on Prime Video before Gervonta Tank Davis comes rolling through. That's later tonight on the PBC on pay-per-view. And speaking of Tank Davis, well, he and Lamont Roach, they're going to headline the main event on pay-per-view tonight. You know, Tank making his 6th title defense of his WBA lightweight title here in the building where he first became a champion 8 years ago. Roach and Davis, very, very familiar with one another. You know, they fought in the amateurs twice. They both rep the DMV area. Roach, Washington, D.C., Tank, Baltimore, Maryland. The co-feature on pay-per-view should be just as eventful because Jose Rayo Valenzuela will be making his first title defense against Gary Antoine Russell. You know, Rayo had that impressive victory over Aesop Pitbull Cruz. That was last August. Took his 140-pound title in the process, while Russell gets second crack at the belt after suffering his first professional loss to the current title holder, Alberto Puello. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer. Welcome to Brooklyn. And tonight, one of boxing's biggest attractions and punchers back here in the arena where his career first exploded. You know, it was here at Barclays Center 8 years ago where Gervonta Davis first became a world champion. And some of his most devastating knockouts have occurred right here in this building. Now, Davis's opponent tonight says he is more than just the other name on the marquee. He embodies his nickname, The Reaper. Lamont Roach, well, he's a world champion at 130 pounds. He's moving up in weight tonight. He says chasing greatness, and he believes putting an end to Tank's reign. Let's take a look at the entire fight card that you will see on pay-per-view. It begins the night with the former unified champ, Julian J. Rock Williams, taking on the unbeaten Cuban sensation, Yoenis Tellez. You know, J-Rock says tonight begins his quest to become a 2-time 154-pound champion. Next, you'll see Alberto Puello. He will defend his 140-pound strap against Sandor Martin, who's been waiting for over a year to get his world title shot. And then you've got the co-feature. You got Jose Rayo Valenzuela making his first title defense against Gary Antoine Russell. Of course, Rayo beat Pitbull Cruz last August to win the strat, while Russell, he suffered his first professional loss to Alberto Puello. And then we've got the main event. It is Baltimore taking on DC. Gervonta Tank Davis makes his sixth title defense against the Reaper, Lamont Roach. Joining me now to discuss this main event, we'll be seeing the Boxing Hall of Famer himself, Joe Goosen. Okay, Joe Goosen.
Thanks, Brian.
You know, you can really write the script when you talk about Tank Davis fights, at least the last 3 or 4 of them. Gives away the first 3 or 4 rounds, and then that missile strike of a left hand comes, and the fight's over in about the 6th or 7th. It begs the question then, how do you stop a Tank?
Heavy artillery. But look, I mean, that's easier said than done. I mean, look, you've got to be, there's like 4 qualities I think you need to possess. You got to be athletic, number 1. Number 2, you got to have a great chin, because he's going to get to you, and he's a heavy puncher. Number 3, a little height and reach wouldn't hurt, to keep Tank at bay. And then lastly, you got to have that one punch power to make him respect you, or else he's just going to march you down, and he's going to put you on the ropes eventually, and he's going to stop you, which he's done time and time again. So, those qualities are hard to come by. I think Roach is very athletic. Look, he's a world champion at 130. He's athletic for sure. He's only got 10 knockouts at 130, so the power isn't there. That's something that, maybe he's worked on in the gym and tried to increase that. So, we'll see what happens. He's a great fighter. He's a great counter puncher. He's a good body puncher, Roach. So, I give him a lot of credit, and he could take this fight some distance. We'll see. Tank is he's a different animal out there. He's he's beaten champions, world champions, contenders, and demolished them all. Yeah, so he's a tough guy to beat.
One reason why he's probably top 5 of, you talk about best fighters in the world right now, pound for pound. So tonight on pay-per-view, 4 fights, folks, 3 of them world title fights, and then of course the main event features the 2 rivals, Gervonta Tank Davis, the self-proclaimed new face of boxing.
March 1st, the most explosive man in boxing returns.
The legend of Gervonta Tank Davis.
In his path stands fellow world champ Lamont the Reaper Roach, looking to step in and take out the Tank.
Into the battleground. Ain't gonna stop me now. This is the final round.
That power is deadly. We coming.
It's Tank versus Roach, Saturday, March 1st, live on PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video.
Again, 4 fights coming your way on pay-per-view later tonight. 3 of them world title fights. Plenty of time for you. Get out your phone, scan that QR code right there in the corner of your screen. Order the fight. Brooklyn goes hard. So do we. So let's go ringside. Get this night started. Here's Mauro Ranallo with the guys calling all the action.
Thank you very much, BC. And here in BK, if you know, you know. And someone who knows a lot about the sport, former 3-division champion Abner Marquez, and of course, Brian Campbell. And Abner, we're going to showcase the 140-pound division with 2 title fights coming up later tonight on pay-per-view. 4 fighters with current claims to the throne. We got Teofimo Lopez, Richardson Hitchens, Alberto Puello, and Jose Valenzuela. And Valenzuela will make the maiden voyage of his title reign against Gary Antoine Russell. Set the table for us for what on paper is a fantastic styles clash.
And it is. Thank you, matchmaker, for this fight. Really a 50-50 fight. I'm really looking forward to it. And really the key victories for this fight, starting with Gary Antoine Russell. He's got to stay disciplined. He's got to put that pressure. He's known for that. He's a relentless pressure power puncher. 117 knockouts. He's always looking for the knockout. And believe me, trust me, tonight he will be looking for that because he's coming off a defeat. So he wants to make a statement tonight. Now for Rayo Valenzuela, coming off his best victory against Pitbull Cruz, where he boxed so beautifully, kept him on his back foot, used angles, really fought smart. He's got to stay smart throughout the whole fight and not make it into a brawl.
All right, Brian. Gary Antoine Russell, coming off not only his first loss, but his first crack at a title, gets to jump right back in against Valenzuela. But the man who defeated him, Alberto Puello, he defends his piece of the junior welterweight crown against longtime mandatory challenger Sandor Martin. What makes this title clash so compelling?
To me, it's the hunger between these two guys. They've been overlooked, underrated in this division for a long time. For Puello, he used to be a champion in this division, never lost it in the ring, but he opened a lot of eyes against Gary Russell in the way he disarmed him over 12 rounds. Martin, on the other side, he's been a mandatory challenger since 2023, but through step-aside money and him losing his title opportunity when Devin Haney moved up in weight last summer, these are two tricky fighters who are going to have to go through each other to try to take that one step closer to becoming the face of this division.
I thought I was a walking energy drink. BC over here is giving me a run for my money. We are amped because while the evening culminates with a lightweight title defense by Gervonta Davis against current junior lightweight titleist Lamont Roach Jr., we get the action here on the prelims on Prime Video underway in the same lightweight division. Couple of undefeated fighters, but whose career trajectories seem to be going in opposite directions. Derek Davis duels with Jamal Johnson. We are scheduled for 4 rounds. Let's go inside the ring now, the official introductions. Here's ring announcer Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, as Premier Boxing Champions presents the Prime Video Prelims. It is all brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Our 3 judges ringside are Tony Paolillo, Robert Perez, and Waleska Roldan. The referee in charge of the action is Ricky Gonzalez. And now Premier Boxing Champions present 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the black and red trunks, he weighed in at 140.8 pounds. His record stands 2 victories, including 1 win by knockout, no defeats. Representing Baltimore, Maryland, here is Jamal Johnson. And now introducing his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the white and blue trunks. He weighed in at 138.2 pounds. His record stands a perfect 5 victories, all 5 victories by knockout, no defeats. Representing Fort Washington, Maryland, here is the young star, Derek Scooter Davis.
Mask on, mask off. See his future is bright. See what I did there? It's a hip hop.
Gentlemen, you received instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up.
Referee is Ricky Gonzalez. We are just getting started here at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And we begin in the 135-pound weight class. Derek Scooter Davis, just 20 years of age. Already the Looney's favorite fighter because he's 5-0 with 5 KOs. He takes on Jamal Johnson, who turns 33 on March 20th. And despite the age, he's just 2-0 with 1 knockout. And in fact, he's coming off a 1-year, 11-month, and 5-day layoff, hoping to derail the hype train that is Scooter Davis. And if the man known as Scooter has the same kind of performance that the other Scooter, Stephen Fulton, had recently, it's going to be a great night at the office for Mr. Davis.
No doubt about it, Mo. A redemptive night for the great Stephen Fulton Jr. Last time out here on PBC on Prime. Let's see what Derek Davis can do.
Oh, definitely already starting fast with that jab.
Davis, the first of 2 Davises, defending their records here tonight, undefeated records, because Derek Davis spent a lot of time at Headbangers Boxing Gym in Washington, D.C. as he bangs away on Johnson. And Gervonta Davis, he did his training camp for this fight against Lamont Roach later tonight at the gym with new chief second Barry Hunter. Calvin Ford, his mentor, his father figure, the man who led him to all those championships, still in the corner. But what do you make of the switch, BC?
Well, much ado in some cases about nothing, because Hunter has been a consultant in Davis' corner before.
And speaking of hunting, Davis looking for the knockout early, and he drops Johnson here in round number 1.
5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on. Time. Let's go. Watch this off.
Davis 5-0 with 4 first-round knockouts, looking for his 5th here. Referee calling, well, this is giving Johnson a lot of time to recover, guys.
Yeah, really a lot of time, but you know that Davis is going to jump on him right away like he did in this first round, and you have to against Johnson, a fighter that hasn't fought in so long, not active. You're young, you want to go out there and look and get the kill.
But look at Johnson biting down on that gum shield that was just rinsed and trying to fight back, but got buckled again. The power of Davis on display, and those uppercuts on display. It's all Derek Scooter Davis here in round 1. Down goes Johnson again.
4, 5, 6, your right hand. 7, 8. Step over here.
The fight is over. Derek Scooter Davis, 6-0, 6 knockouts, 5 in the first round.
He was quick, he was powerful, he was efficient. Circle this name on the bout sheet, Abner.
Yes.
Young fighter to watch moving forward.
Hey, Abner, 2 months ago, you would have asked me, who's the best Davis in the lightweight division? Automatically, Gervonta. Now with Keyshawn Davis having his star-making turn, and now here's a youngster, Derek Davis. There's a lot of Davis business at 135.
A lot of Davis and a lot of similarities. Speaking of explosiveness, my God, he started really quick, really fast, and he got the job done like he was supposed to. And he still's got the energy, of course.
That charisma in the young fighter.
Dripping in finesse, dripping in charisma. Derek Scooter Davis, he appears to be ready for his close-up.
Where I come from, Mo, if you've got a shark tattooed on your midriff, you're ready for the deep waters.
Had a tremendous amateur career. And again, out of the nation's capital, working with the likes of the highly respected Barry Hunter. And again, it's cliche because it's true. Iron sharpens iron. When you're in a gym with sharks, the Shark Tank is the Headbangers boxing gym.
And let's see how this fight ended. The first knockdown here, beautiful right hand with the uppercut. He hurt him already with that uppercut, followed it up again with beautiful combination body shots, just for a barrage of punches. Right hand, uppercut again. Again, he had him hurt and he went for the kill.
See that mouthpiece come flying out of the mouth of Johnson.
It was those uppercuts, and this is the second knockdown. We're looking at left hand after left hand. Body work, uppercut. And this is just it. Johnson just taking too many punishment.
Well, Derek Davis doing his best impression of Gervonta Tank Davis, who he was able to monitor and sit under that learning tree. There is Barry Hunter, and let's make it official now with Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute and 56 seconds of round number 1 as referee Ricky Gonzalez calls a stop to this contest. For your winner by TKO and still undefeated, Derek Scooter Davis.
Scooter already riding high on the hog, embryonic stages of his career, but Mr. Custer, this kid's future so bright, he's already got to wear shades. He's got it all, and tonight he delivers a statement with another first-round KO.
And what a way to do it in the bright lights of the big city of New York City. Barry Hunter, his trainer, Scooter, boy, he went to work and got the job done. Another first-round stoppage for him. Hey, don't forget now, folks, later tonight, on pay-per-view, coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern time, you've got Gervonta Tank Davis once again be packing out Barclays Center yet again, this time against his former amateur rival, super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. And we've also got a pair of super lightweight title fights for you as well. Loaded night of action here from Brooklyn as Scooter Davis is victorious here. Talk to me about that young man here under Barry Hunter's tutelage there in that Headbangers gym out of DC. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Derek Davis. Well, look, first off, he's with Barry Hunter for a reason, okay? He's a real talent. 6-0, 6 knockouts. And the kid he fought was undefeated, 2-0. So, you know, he's not putting him in there with guys with upside-down records. That was a legit opponent, and he just destroyed him in the first round. And I'm glad the referee stopped it when he did, because it would have been really bad had he let him continue fighting. Derek Davis is great. He's great. He's got a bright future.
Man, I look at his body. I look at the height, the power. You're like, oh boy, that kid could be something here.
He not only could be something, he is something right now. He's got the temperament of a real veteran in there. He's very polished and very accurate and patient. He did not like get out of control at all, which a lot of younger guys do when they're going for a knockout. I really liked what I saw with Derek Davis.
And from a trainer's perspective, when you get a kid, especially on a massive card like this, what does that do for him in his development?
It's everything you want as a trainer and a manager. You want to get your young guys that are really good, and you know they're good, but sometimes they don't get the exposure. He just got some great exposure tonight, and it's going to serve him well. And he deserved the exposure, and he'll deserve the next step he goes to, because he'll be getting more exposure because he's really that good. He's going to be champ one day, unless there's something that goes terribly wrong, but he's got all the qualities for that to happen.
Let's take a look at, again, it's a one-round stoppage here for Scooter Davis, and it started off early here as he was, I mean, some thunderous punches, and the kid's mouthpiece went flying there. Good stoppage there.
Great stoppage. I was saying, I hope the ref stops it there, because he was in no shape to continue. Derek Davis, a very accurate puncher, very hard puncher. He's really good.
All right, now, of course, we got preliminary fights here, and we still have 2 more here for you on Prime Video. But then later tonight at 8 Eastern, it begins the pay-per-view portion of the night. And the co-feature on the night on pay-per-view, you'll see Jose Rayo Valenzuela making the first defense of his WBA super lightweight title against Gary Antoine Russell. Of course, Russell getting another crack there at the world title. Rayo won the belt against Pitbull Cruz. That was last August, last summer. Of course, Rayo, he joins some current world champions at 140, a really good weight division. Take a look at some of the names there when you talk about 140. I mean, Teofimo Lopez is there, who Rayo sparred when they were late teens. You've got New York's own Richardson Hitchens is there. Alberto Puello, who you'll also see on pay-per-view tonight. He's going to be making his first title defense against Sandor Martin. That, of course, will come your way as well. Back here with Joe Goosen. And you know, Joe, Rayo, who usually more of an aggressive fighter, put on a boxing masterclass when he took the strap away from Pitbull Cruz. He used movement, he used angles, he countered. But now you got Russell, bigger, obviously stronger guy, a lot more aggressive, but you know those punches aren't going to be coming out, those looping overhands like with Pitbull. They're shorter, they're crisper. Tell me, size up this fight tonight.
And not only that, Antoine Russell is a left-hander.
Yes.
17-1 and 17 knockouts. So when he wins a fight, he wins by knockout. He's lost 1 fight against Puello, but Puello is really, really good. We'll get to that later on. But against Valenzuela, look, Valenzuela was, when he first started, was highly aggressive, left his chin open a lot, but he was very powerful, and he paid the price for it against Edwin De Los Santos and got stopped. And then he got beat by Chris Colbert after that. And since then, he's done a turnaround. He changed his style, and he's using his height and his reach and his movement, and he's boxing now, which is smart, because he'll always be aggressive when he needs to be, like that right there, but when he knocked out Chris Colbert in the rematch. But for the most part, Rayo is changed his style. He's a lot more patient. He'll use the ring now. He'll use defense. He won't expose himself so much defensively. And that's why he won the title. And I'm sure it's going to serve him well tonight, But I got to tell you, Gary Antoine Russell is no one to be trifled with. This is kind of a pick 'em fight, to tell you the truth.
You look at last 5 fights here for Rayo. Obviously, the one against Pitbull Cruz is where he won the title. He did. You just saw how he got the stoppage against Chris Colbert, redeeming himself after suffering the loss the first time. So now he takes on Gary Antoine Russell, makes the first title defense for him. Yeah. And I like his confidence. I mean, he knows that this is going to be a tough fight for him. And listen, he knows that, and he's even looking towards the future because he said, look, I've already talked with Shakur Stevenson. I've been talking about trying to get a fight with Shakur Stevenson afterwards.
Well, look, I mean, that's yet to be seen. I mean, all the talk is great. He's got to win the fight tonight. Yeah. But like I said, both guys, I'm sure, and I know after that loss that Russell suffered, sometimes it can hurt you mentally, and sometimes it can make you stronger, and it can make you, go to work even harder. And I think that's what happened. He's going to probably be at his very best tonight against Rayo. And again, he may be the more athletic guy out there, Gary Russell, Anton Russell. Rayo may be the better puncher, even though he's got a lot of knockouts. Russell, they're both good punchers, no doubt about it. This is why I say this is a tough one to call. This is a very even fight in my book.
It is a pick'em fight. Now, before the co-feature on pay-per-view, you're also going to see Alberto Puello. He'll be making the first title defense at 140 pounds against Sandor Martin. Puello beat Gary Antoine Russell. That was last June to become a 2-time champion. This is Martin's first fight in over a year. He's had to take step-aside money, folks, a couple of times when he was the mandatory for the title, and now he finally gets that long-awaited opportunity. And listen, this is what you need to know about Puello. This is a guy, first Dominican fighter to win a world title at 140 pounds. 6-0, by the way, against Southpaws. That's what he'll be facing in Martin. And he trained alongside former world champion Hector Luis Garcia when the two were youngsters. All right, so this will be a really interesting fight. You got two guys, two Southpaws. Yep. You know Puello, really good boxer. Martin is a guy who uses movement. Now listen, Martin, when he was here in New York City a few years ago and fought Teofimo Lobo, he dropped Teofimo Lobo. There's a number of people who thought he won that fight, although he lost
disputed.
it. Yeah, in a split decision. Size up this fight for me.
Well, this is another tough one to call exactly. I kind of favor, if I were a betting guy, I'd probably favor Puello. He's been active. He just had that big win over Gary Russell. He's 6 foot tall. Yeah. He's an excellent counterpuncher. If you force him, in other words, if you start touching him, he's going to touch you back maybe twice. In other words, he's a touch and go guy. You touch him, he'll go and counter you, and you may not see it coming because he's very slick. He's got that left hand right there. You just saw it. He's got a good left uppercut to the belly and head. There's that little chopping left hand. He's turning. He's making a nice turn on Russell. So he's very athletic. He's tall. He's dangerous, and he's a great counter puncher. On the other hand, Martin, he's very good. He's very good too, but he has not fought a southpaw in 7.5 years. That's a big advantage he's giving away to Puello, who's just fought a southpaw in Russell. But again, he's very qualified. He's got 40-something wins, only a couple of losses. He's very qualified. He's very good, and I think he's also a better puncher than his knockout record shows. So this is going to be another pick'em fight right here. But I would probably lean towards Puello if I were a betting man.
The one thing I'll say about Martin, he's hungry. He's had to step aside a couple of times. Finally gets that shot.
Yeah, but he got paid when he stepped aside, so he's not that hungry.
Once again, here's a look at our stacked pay-per-view card, which kicks off 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 3 world title fights. But before that, it's the rising Cuban sensation, Yoenis Diaz. He takes on the former unified champ, Julian J. Rock Williams. And then it is the first of 2 super lightweight championship fights. Alberto Puello, he defends his strap against Sandor Martin, followed by Jose Valenzuela's first title defense against Gary Antoine Russell. It all leads to the main event as Gervonta Tank Davis breaking box office records yet again, this time against super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. And again, order the pay-per-view, folks. Down ringside, here's my man Mauro Ranallo.
All right, BC, as the sun begins to set here in New York City, anticipation continues to rise for the pay-per-view coming up, and we are set now for a battle of undefeated fighters at welterweight, scheduled for 6 rounds or less. David Whitmire, known as the Body Snatcher, shout out to Mike McCullum, takes on Angel Munoz, who's known as Machete, and you've heard it once, you're going to hear it again. Somebody's O has got to go, and now let's go to Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set for our next bout on the Prime Video Prelims. Once again, it is all brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Our 3 judges ringside are Mark Constantino, David Sutherland, and Don Trella. The referee in charge of the action is Harvey Dock. And now Premier Boxing Champions present 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the gray trunks, he weighed in at 148.8 pounds. His record undefeated, 7 victories, including 5 by knockout. Fighting out of San Bernardino, California, here is Angel Machete Munoz. And now introducing his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the white and gold trunks. He weighed in at 146.4 pounds. His record also undefeated, 8 victories, 6 wins by knockout. Proudly representing Washington, D.C., here is David, the Body Snatcher Whitmire.
Okay, you can bring him out. Okay, guys. Hang on 2 seconds. Let's go, coach. Let's go, coach. You good? You got the mouthpiece? All right. Guys, we went over the instructions earlier. As a reminder, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch him up. Good luck. Thank you.
Veteran referee Harvey Dock assigned to oversee the proceedings here, again scheduled for 6 rounds at 147 pounds. The undefeated David Whitmire, the Body Snatcher, against Angel Munoz, who's also undefeated. Just really taxing the runway of their respective careers. Whitmire 8-0 with 6 knockouts. Munoz 7-0 with 5 KOs. So both of them have the propensity to bang. Munoz already going inside with the uppercut. And now it's Whitmire looking to establish the jab early.
Yeah, I think that Angel Munoz learned from his last fight. I thought he was a little too patient, waited too long, and now going in fast. And you have to against Whitmire. You can't let him get comfortable, because he's one of those fighters that once you let him get comfortable, be careful. He's a body snatcher. He'll come forward and start landing those shots.
Is there any nickname better in boxing more than the Body Snatcher?
Hey,
I mean,
I
it
love
just says it all.
And again, shout out to another 3-division champion, Mike McCullum, who gave us so many amazing memories. There's a great left hook there by Whitmire. The southpaw Munoz leading with the straight left hand, but the jab is already an effective weapon for Whitmire, who has recorded 5 first-round knockouts, including in his last fight earlier this year in January.
This is the first time both of these young prospects are fighting undefeated opponents, so a good step-up opportunity here to test themselves.
And Munoz has already been tested, his character, Brian, U.S. Army veteran stationed at Fort Bragg in the 82nd Airborne Division.
Absolutely. Father of 2 as well. Short amateur career did Munoz as he gets hits there with the lead right hand.
Father of 2 at 22 years of age against the, well, he turns 20 next week, David Whitmire, on March 5th.
And you can see already that Whitmire's getting comfortable dictating the pace with that jab, sharp jab, timing that jab as well to the body upstairs and just waiting for that. Oh, there it is, that lean forward for Munoz to counter with that right.
Munoz in his 23rd professional round. Whitmire, this is his 16th, and the jab, the textbook jab, the foundation has been the key weapon for Whitmire here in the opening 3 minutes. The final minute now, but Munoz trying to curl that lead right hook from the southpaw stance.
Whitmire mixing in a lot of nice lead right hands against the southpaw he's having success with. You saw that hot start from Munoz getting out with those left hands, but it's really been Whitmire this whole stretch.
He's outlanded Munoz 22-10, and he just landed a hard right hand.
I like how he switched that right hand. He started with the straight right, and he switched it as an overhand right. Munoz was not expecting that.
Final 20 seconds of the first frame. Whitmire fighting at distance, trying to keep Munoz at the end of his jab. So a good start for David the Body Snatcher Whitmire here in round number 1. And earlier, Dan Canobio cut up with J-Rock Julian Williams, who's going to kick off the pay-per-view.
Backstage with Julian J-Rock Williams. Now, Julian, former world champion, unified world champion. Tonight you step back into the ring against a young, hungry lion in Jonas Tellez. What are you looking for to get out of your career at this point?
Another world title.
You've been very clear about that. Do you believe that this is the beginning road for that?
That's how long I'm here.
And when you look at Tellez, yesterday, there was like a shove, there was some bad blood. Where did that stem from?
Well, he like put his elbow. I'm like, come on, bro, we can't. You know what I mean? You can't do that.
You've been around. You've seen that before.
Here we was in the street in a dark alleyway. You can't do that. Whether it was on stage, or, like I said, or in a dark alleyway, you can't disrespect me. And I felt disrespected, so that's why I moved his arm out my way.
Julian J-Rock Williams in a big fight tonight, looking to get back into title contention.
All right, thank you very much. Looking forward to all of the pay-per-view action coming up at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. But right now, this is round number 2 of prelims on Prime Video action. Good start by Munoz to the second stanza. Lands an opening salvo, a 1-2 combination from the southpaw stance. But it's Whitmire who continues to march forward on that front foot.
And it's when Munoz gets off first that he's effective. And that's how he started the first round. Again, the second round started the same way. But then he gets comfortable, goes back, and starts getting hit. He's got to be first.
This is Munoz's second career scheduled 6-round fight. In his last fight, he outpointed Yanel Alvarez over 6 last December. So far, the body snatcher has been
missing no body shots yet.
No, just really focused on the jab, which, interesting.
But I can see why also Whitmire does not want to be in the inside, because that's where Munoz feels a lot more comfortable. So right now doing a good job of maintaining distance, Whitmire.
Whitmire fighting for the first time here in the Big Apple, putting together the 1-2. Trying to find a rhythm, establish that groove, Brian.
No doubt about it, which he's done well from mid-range, but this is a night of many firsts for Whitmire from the standpoint of first televised fight, first 6-round fight, first fight in New York City, and first fight here against an unbeaten foe and doing well in the early moments.
It really is.
Munoz eating a hard couple of jabs from Whitmire, and that jab is really starting to find its target and score. See, we're splitting the high guard of Munoz, and follows up with a straight right.
And Whitmire's really smart. He knows that jab's landing. He's keeping Munoz entertained with it. And then next thing you know, he's going to let go of the right hand. It's just a way of keeping you hypnotized with the jab.
There's a beautiful straight left down the middle by Munoz. Of course, you look for that lead foot battle as well with orthodox and southpaw. Always want to maintain that outer position. Oh, an uppercut and a left hand there by Munoz. Scores with an effective combo.
Right after a flurry of body shots from the body snatcher. So good two-way trading here in round 2.
And Whitmire had Munoz on the ropes momentarily. Munoz pivoting, trying to bounce, trying to find his rhythm here as we are just over half a minute left in the second round. And it's the dedicated, it's almost like a metronome. There's a left hook to the body by Whitmire. 2 good body shots.
Yeah.
But he seems to have his timing down here, Abner.
The timing's there, the rhythm for Whitmire. He's feeling comfortable right now. Look how his body's talking. He's going in the inside now, and it's really just a matter of time. It looks that way.
Early investments will pay dividends as Munoz scores with a couple of right uppercuts on the inside, but those body shots and the jab taking their toll.
Touch the head, touch the head. 4-3, 5-3. You got the timing now, right? Way to go, big dog. Make sure you turn on the right hand so you don't square up. I don't want you to square up, okay? You squared up one time, okay? No mistake, big dog. Go around, deep breath.
And we're going to
You got a
see
little
why
bit
they
too
call him the
close, that's
body
why he's able to
snatcher.
smother you.
Whitmire,
If
the body work in the last round was just perfect. One body shot there, 2 body shots in the inside. I mean, he's doing damage with that. Little by little breaking down Munoz. And again, just feeling comfortable breaking down Munoz. Body shot after body shot, both hands.
Munoz, though, had his moments with that right uppercut in that exchange. As you mentioned, Brian, terrific two-way action, and Andrew Counsel providing counsel for his charge in that corner as Munoz. He's trained by Luis Morfin. So we've got 2 undefeated fighters, 2 young fighters willing to risk their perfect records. And Brian, always refreshing when you get to see fighters willing to just put it on the line early and not worry about the perfect record as much as trying to secure a legacy, trying to secure fandom. And now Whitmire trying to earn some fans with his work in this fight.
Well, no doubt about what you said about the unbeaten records too much. Culture in this sport has been clinging to that. It's good to see young fighters challenging themselves here as these 2 continue to trade body shots on the inside.
Good two-way action here in the 3rd round. Munoz sitting down on his shots. Lead right hook curls around the guard of Whitmire. Then the straight left splits the guard, but Whitmire calm and cool and continues to just work behind the jab, go to the body.
Exactly, calm, cool from Whitmire. Really just poised and doing everything he can in that ring, throwing every single punch. Beautiful uppercut and hook right now from Whitmire.
But Brian, you have to admire Munoz and his steadfastness in digging away and trying to hurt Whitmire with every shot.
I thought he came alive a little bit last round, did Munoz, letting his hands go more, certainly leaving the body open when he lets go with that left hand. Whitmire is taking advantage, but this is a situation where Munoz is going to have to get some respect back and really try to establish himself this frame.
When you have 2 young fighters with a combined record of 15-0, 11 knockouts, you expect a fistic fireworks display. And as this fight continues to warm up, you see the action beginning to pick up as well.
Definitely picking up. Whitmire, again, just feeling comfortable going in the inside. But again, ooh, beautiful.
Left hook to the liver again by the body snatcher, and another left hook to the liver by Whitmire. Now Munoz, look at, you see his defense. He's leaning in with the shoulder. You're not attacking my liver again. You're not Hannibal Lecter, my man.
It, of course. Those body shot hurts so much. Little by little, there's always, you know, it just breaks you down. You see Munoz already trying to run away from him.
The stats, while the body snatcher is leading big time. Imagine that.
Great move by Whitmire. They're changing levels, but then going upstairs with the lead right.
Yes, Munoz expecting the body, and Whitmire.
Oh, a couple of lead right hooks by Munoz that score 1 upstairs, 1 downstairs. Very valiant effort here by the undefeated Munoz, who, while he's been bedeviled by the jab and the body work of Whitmire, hey guys, he's still in this fight.
Yeah, of course, Whitmire, the reason Whitmire's staying in the pocket, he's feeling comfortable, and of course, Munoz can throw his shots as well and land because Whitmire's right in front of him.
And one thing to know, Whitmire's never been past 4 rounds through 8 pro fights. This is a 6-round bout, so let's see what type of offense Munoz can bring if we get into those new rounds for Whitmire.
And we mentioned that Munoz went 6 in his last fight.
Good round. All you gotta do is keep your foot on the gas pedal. Be cautious when you're coming in, right? Each time you touch him through the body, he's looking to dive in a hole. He's trying to slow your offense down. He really don't want to get close to you for real, okay? So you can do it either way. You can keep him outside and use that double jab and right hand, but when you decide to walk him down,
and
don't let him hold you.
It's not only body work that we're seeing
in.
from Whitmire, it's beautiful combinations, placement of punches, and here we see the The jab, the setup with the jab, opening up the guard, and the uppercut right hand placed perfectly in the chin. I mean, just perfect. I mean, I don't know how Munoz took that shot, but it was well placed from Whitmire.
Whitmire's trainer, Andrew Council, wants him to keep his foot on the gas. Of course, in New York traffic, that's hard to do. But in the Barclays Center ring, where David Whitmire is 8-0 with 6 KOs and off to a fantastic start, they want him to continue to put the pressure on Munoz and, again, effectively establishing the jab early stages of the fourth.
No question about it. And how about the Council? From Council in the corner, you consider Andrew Council's resume, a 14-year pro who once shared the ring with the likes of Hall of Famers Buddy McGirt, Ronald Winky Wright, Bernard Hopkins, who he lost to in a world middleweight title shot. So good to see him giving back to the sport and bringing up some of these young fighters.
Nice lead right hook again by Munoz. That's been his best punch, is the lead right hook, curling around the guard of Whitmire, but hasn't been able to deter Whitmire from coming forward. So obviously the power of Munoz not able to really establish any territory at this stage yet.
Not enough power, not doing enough to keep Whitmire away from him, or busy, or worried about something. Again, Whitmire just feeling comfortable with that jab, just lining jab.
Well, Whitmire's got a 3-inch reach advantage, but he's making it seem like a lot bigger by the distance he's controlling and the high-low variance of his shots that he's bringing to Munoz here.
Combination to the body by Whitmire, and then goes right back to the stick. Munoz unable to establish the jab, trying to utilize some lateral movement. That would be key for him. Utilize the real estate. Start to move bits on the inside with the uppercut.
And we're seeing exactly that, and it's working for him right now. Munoz boxing, beautiful combination, lateral movements, not giving Whitmire a target. Nice.
There's a counter upstairs by Munoz, but Whitmire digging away to the body on the ropes, and this could spell trouble for Munoz.
That last right hand might have hurt Munoz. You can see the grimace on his face.
And yet, trying to fight back, but now series of shots to the body and a hard right hand upstairs by Whitmire.
Body snatcher as advertised for Whitmire. Right
Body snatcher trying to snatch the soul of Munoz here in the fourth.
Wow, and Munoz doesn't want to throw anything because he's too worried about protecting the body.
He just took a deep breath. Wow. Munoz just took a deep breath, knowing how much he's been taxed with those body shots. Oh, and Whitmire, those firing and missing.
Well, the thing I like about Munoz, even though he's under fire this round, is when he does get backed up to the ropes, he looks to punch his way out. Doesn't want to linger there.
He definitely is throwing punches in return, and yet the counter shots of Whitmire more eye-catching.
Undoubtedly up to this point. Whether it's the lead right hand, the stiff jabs, or those routine body shots Whitmire had, it looks.
Gotta push. Where's the water? Water.
Water. Hey, water, bro, water. Fuck.
Good?
How are you feeling, champ? Good? Yes, sir. All right.
A little bit more
You
water?
all right, coach?
Yeah, we're good.
Hey, bro.
Come on, bro. Let's get this fucking going. Ya se está cansando, tiene que tirarle para atrás. You gotta hit him right back. All right? You gotta push. All right, last two.
And a lot more body work from Whitmire, the body snatcher. Beautiful body shots in the inside. One after the other, with the same hand, really not. I mean, and Munoz taking him. How is he still standing, really?
Just telegraphing those shots,
he
but
was.
they were effective.
The penultimate round, round 5, scheduled for 6 at welterweight. And in that 5th round, Whitmire hit the blackjack number of 21 body punches landed in the 4th, trying to make Munoz's body black and blue. And like you said, both of you, it's a testament to the fortitude of Munoz that he's still standing. That intestinal fortitude.
No question about it.
Or is it testicular fortitude? Mick Foley might have something to say about that. 30 seconds gone here.
Now, if you're Munoz, you got to be expecting the body shots now. They've been landing at will. Okay, now expect them. A little step back and counter punch like he's doing right there, but do not stay in the pocket. I know easier said than done. He probably does not have the legs anymore because the body snatcher has been working that body really good.
This is round 5, the first time Whitmire's been there as a pro, so I like Munoz coming out so aggressively. But at this range, he is so there to be a hit to the body.
Minute gone here in the 5th. The southpaw Munoz launches a left, gets countered with a left uppercut on the inside. Whitmire proving to be the more effective fighter at any range in this fight. Has established long distance range with the L guard, that long jab, and then on the inside using the uppercuts and the body work, and yet Munoz determined to try to make a stand.
I like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot from Whitmire, a lot of good punches, and the placement, and the speed, how he changes the speed on the punches.
The tempo, the punch placement, the variety, all showcasing that burgeoning ring IQ. Again, turns 20 next week, so very much a youngster on the rise. Munoz, well, he's not exactly, you know, going to be receiving old age pension anytime soon. He's only 22. Again, 2 youngsters willing to showcase their wares here. The prelims on Prime Video, and, well, Whitmire appears to be ready for prime time, and Munoz now trying to come back.
This is good moxie here for Munoz. He's staying in the fight, not giving up hope, and really letting his hands go in this frame.
He's actually thrown more punches than Whitmire for the first time in this fight here in round 5. And they've each landed 21 punches, so by far the most competitive round of the fight for Angel Munoz.
Oh, he just ate it overhand left.
Man, they're swinging widely and wildly.
Beautiful lead uppercut there from Whitmire as they continue to train at close range.
He's sitting down on those punches. He has been, but now with the headshots.
Cuffing right hand by Munoz. Body shot by the body snatcher. Uppercut to punctuate the proceedings.
Feel good?
Yeah, last round. We got to touch gloves.
Okay. Hey, last round, you gotta give it your all here, man. All right? I'm gonna be honest, you fucking down. All right? We gotta fucking go. All right? You gotta let everything go, bro. I'm not gonna ever steer you wrong. But if you wanna win this fight, you gotta
do nothing different. You're doing good, all right? But if you stay there and just keep concentrating on the body, you'll get him. You'll get him, dog, okay? But each time you hit him, he's diving in. I keep telling you, just slide back. Okay. Defense back.
Honesty is the best policy in the Angel Munoz corner. Luis Morfin telling him, hey, you're down. We need to see everything in this final 3 minutes.
Back up, back up, back up.
And from our vantage point, we have to agree with the trainer. The numbers back it up. For David, the body snatcher Whitmire, outlanding Munoz to the body 73-18 through 5 rounds.
Yeah, you as a fighter, you feel you're losing the fight as well.
Unbeaten record of both fighters at stake here in the final round, but I like how Whitmire is meeting the pressure of Munoz with these combinations to the body. It's been his calling card all night.
Munoz trying to fight back again, leading with that curling right hook upstairs, but not stopping Whitmire at all, not able to hurt Whitmire with his punches, but still valiantly fighting back, and all it takes is the body shots by Whitmire. But look at Munoz, the last 2 rounds when he needed it most, he is trying to fight fire with fire, trying to summon up that inner resolve to spring a Hail Mary here against Whitmire.
Well, Munoz is trying to time Whitmire's body shots with that counter uppercut. He's had some success this frame as Whitmire is content to fight him at this close range.
And Whitmire just rocked him with that counter right on the jaw.
But Munoz still there, still game throwing his punches, not giving up in this fight.
Stay off his head, stay off his head.
Big deep breath there for Munoz, but he's still firing back.
He's taking a few in this fight. Misses with the right uppercut, body shot to the breadbasket by Whitmire. There's a rare jab from Munoz. Minute and a half left in the fight. Two undefeated youngsters in the welterweight division looking to continue their winning ways. It's been mainly David Whitmire with the more effective skills, but one cannot discount the heart, the guile, and as Brian Campbell put it, the moxie of Machete Angel Munoz.
Yeah, these are the fights that you learn the most, going the distance against a tough opposition like Munoz. Game always, even though he was taking those body shots, but you always see it again. 57 seconds left, and he's still trying to win this fight, or at least get some points or win this round.
Well, he has responded to the call, meaning Munoz of his trainer. Down on the scorecards, we need you to go for it.
And these last two rounds have been the best 6 minutes of the fight for Angel Munoz, and yet Whitmire continues to march forward, attacking the body, leaning in, uppercut by Munoz, body shots by Whitmire.
Good combinations inside by Whitmire.
And lots of volume. Just a 6-round fight, and they have gone over 800 combined punches thrown, so plenty of action here between these two undefeated welterweights who will hear the final bell.
It's good action.
Good stuff from Munoz.
Better stuff from Whitmire?
Of course, no doubt about that. But again, Munoz always game, did not want to give up in this fight. A lot of heart.
More than half of Whitmire's landed punches have been
to the body.
Thank you, Brian Campbell.
Anything hurting? Nope. I'll shake you on the back, okay?
All right, let's look back on the action here as David Whitmire getting off first with that reach advantage. But once this fight progressed and he worked the jab, it became all about the body. Good heart for Munoz to respond to the damage and keep punching, particularly in those final 2 rounds. But you can see the precision, the timing, and the extension from Whitmire.
Yeah, even though it was one-sided fight from Whitmire, punishing him, pressuring him, body shot. But again, Munoz always game, even in the last round, trying to close it and let it all go.
Whitmire goes 6 rounds for the first time in his career. Munoz goes 6 for the second consecutive time in his career. And we have the official decision after 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Let's go to Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges are in agreement, and all 3 judges score it 60-54 for your winner by unanimous decision, David, the Body Snatcher Whitmire.
David Whitmire with an early 20th birthday present, pitching a shutout over 6 rounds, handing Angel Munoz his first loss as Munoz drops to 7-1. But David the Body Snatcher Whitmire now 9-0.
We talk a lot about the development of prospects. To see Whitmire get the chance to go the 6-round distance for the first time, get an unbeaten foe on his record, and then, oh, by the way, land 92 body punches in 6 rounds to only add to that great nickname, Abner.
No, and choke is a lot more, because there were a lot more than just the body snatching, the uppercuts, the well-placed combinations, the right hand. So great performance by him.
Coming up here on the prelims on Prime Video, a matchup in the middleweight division scheduled for 10 rounds. It'll be Jared Swift Hurt, former champ, taking on Yohan Gonzalez. That's all coming your way here at Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
On Saturday, March 22nd, world champion Sebastian the Towering Inferno Fundora defends his title against Cordell Booker. And don't miss Jesus Ramos Jr. and Kevin Salgado in an all-Mexican showdown. Streaming live Saturday, March 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Prime Video for Prime members.
So we'll see you there in Vegas. But coming up later at 8 o'clock on pay-per-view, you'll see that man, the 140-pound champion, Alberto Puello. He will be making the first title defense of his strap and he's got a southpaw in front of him because he will be taking on Sandor Martin. You know, it's hard to believe it has been a while since there's been a world champion from Spain. But Sandor Martin wants to change that tonight. It's been over a year where he's been waiting for that world title shot. He's had to take step aside money for a couple of times, but he gets the opportunity to fight for the world title tonight. Brian Custer back here with Joe Goosen. Tell me what you saw of the young Whitmire there at 19 years old. Boy, he stole the body of Munoz, who, you know what, give him credit, fought back, but obviously
he
didn't do enough.
No, he was outclassed by Whitmire. Whitmire was the superior fighter from the long distance, middle distance, and in close. Munoz, though, he gave it a good go. You know, he could have packed it in a few times from these body shots. Believe me, sometimes you'd rather get hit on the chin than in the body like that, okay? Because Whitmire's actually whipping those things in really solidly. And of course, he's a young guy too. He's going to grow in strength and power as the next year or two goes by. But he's a very good-looking fighter. He's undefeated. Munoz gave it his all. Like I said, he was outclassed in the ring, but he tried his best. And where he could have packed it in, he stayed in the fight and came back a little bit in the 5th and 6th round. I don't think he won those rounds, but at least he put up some resistance in those last couple of rounds.
As you take a look at the CompuBox final stats, and you know, folks, when you talk about power shots, those are everything except aside from a jab. I mean, Whitmire, more than half of the punches Whitmire landed, body punches.
Well, you know, I mean, if you're going to take the moniker of body snatcher, you
better take that body in his soul, and he tried that tonight.
Yeah, and you know, he got that. Of course, we talked about it earlier. Mike McCallum was the original, and he really was a body snatcher. He was a great body puncher. But yeah.
Hey, how about there? Hey, Rayo, the 140-pound champion there. You'll see him on pay-per-view just entering Barclays Center. He will be defending his strap for the first time against Gary Antoine Russell. It will come your way. It is the co-feature tonight on pay-per-view that begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. Now, you talk about that pay-per-view, it is Baltimore against DC in the main event tonight on the PBC on pay-per-view. So that means Gervonta Tank Davis, Lamont Roach, they will battle it out for Tank's lightweight title in the first ever battle between two reigning champions from those two landmark cities. And folks, 42 miles, that is all that separates Baltimore from Washington, D.C. Two cities, the center of tonight's main event on pay-per-view. In fact, in 1973, it was the Baltimore Bullets who moved to Washington, D.C. and later became the Wizards. And then in baseball, you've got the Baltimore Orioles. They lead, of course, the Beltway Series 63-50 over the Washington Nationals. In the NFL, you've got the Ravens. They lead the all-time series against the Commanders 5-3. By the way, Commanders traded for Deebo Samuels tonight. So a lot of excitement in there is both teams want to play off, of course, in the same season. And for the first time in boxing tonight, you got main event fighters, Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach. Those guys, obviously, they've got some history. What kind of history? Well, traveling on the same amateur circuit, Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach met twice in the amateurs. Look at these youngsters. Most notably in 2011 in the finals of the National Junior Olympics, where the two were ranked the top two at featherweight. Gervonta won the decision 14-6. That was the margin that Gervonta Davis won there. And of course, they fought twice there in the amateurs. And I guess, Joe, it begs the question, considering they have fought a couple of times in the amateurs, does that bear anything or have any kind of significance now that you're professional some years later?
Well, it can, you know, you can think that it gives you an advantage, but you got to remember, those are just kids. Things change. When Michael Nutt, my middleweight, won the middleweight title, he lost to Frank Tate in the amateurs, who eventually went on to win the gold, but we knocked him out to win the world title.
Yeah.
So, you know, it means something, but then again, it might not.
Yeah.
It depends, but I never look back at the amateur stuff because the pros score differently. it's a different game entirely than the amateurs.
What do you say then to, let's say, Lamont Roach, who said, unlike past guys who are facing Tank for the first time, I've been in there with him. I've been in there in the amateurs. I've been in the same gym, so I kind of know what he likes. Obviously, he knows what I like. So my familiarity is there with him, and I don't fear him where maybe some guys in the past have feared him.
No, I can see that. Look, I mean, I've had a lot of fighters that became world champions that fought other amateur guys. My guy, Rafael Relis, fought Oscar De La Hoya a couple of times as amateurs. And De La Hoya won the one fight they had as an amateur, but then also beat my fighter in the world title. So, I mean, look, it carries a little weight, but things change. Look at Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney. You know, they split their fights, but Ryan was still a teenager, and then he grew into a hardcore man, and his punches were different, and it changed the outcome of the fight.
Yeah, we'll see. Of course, again, tonight on pay-per-view, you got 4 fights coming your way, 3 of them world title fights, and then in the main event, you've got Gervonta Tank Davis taking on Lamont Roach. Now, coming up here on Prime Video, the main event of our prelim, it is the former 154-pound unified champion, Swift Jarrett Hurd, taking on Johan Gonzalez. Hurd looking really to resurrect his career, climb back to the top, but this time at the 160-pound division. You know, Hurd went through a surprising stretch there, 3 losses in 4 fights before recently fighting to a draw. That was last August. You know, Jarrett Hurd told me at the fighter meeting, if things don't go his way tonight, this could be it for him. In fact, look, this is his exact quote. He said, if I can't win, it's over. If I can't defeat Johan Gonzalez, that means I can't compete on that level anymore. This is make or break for me. That is what he had to say. Listen, it is time to find out what's next for Jarrett Hurd. Does he fight on? Does he hang up the gloves? For that, let's send it back down the ringside. Here's Mauro Ranallo.
All right, BC, thank you very much. And for that question to be answered, Jarrett Hurd is going to be fighting at middleweight. He was a former, as you mentioned, unified champion at 154, but he's recognizing the high stakes now, and he faces the veteran Johan Gonzalez, who's also looking to reverse his fortunes. So plenty on the line for these 2 veterans scheduled to do battle at 160 pounds. And with the official introductions, let's now go back inside the ring. Here's Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, as Premier Boxing Champions presents our Prime Video Prelims. Once again, it is brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Our 3 judges ringside are Kevin Morgan, Alan Nace, and Robin Taylor. The referee in charge of the action is Charlie Fitch. And now Premier Boxing Champions present 10 rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the gold with red trim, he weighed in at 158.8 pounds. His record stands 35 victories, 34 by knockout, and 4 defeats. Representing Valencia, Venezuela, he is a knockout artist. Here is Johan the Cello Manotas Gonzalez. And now introducing his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the pink with black trim. He weighed in at 159.6 pounds with 25 victories, 17 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 1 draw. Representing Accokeek, Maryland, he is the former unified world champion. Here is Swift Jarrett Hurd.
Good evening, Johan. Good evening, Jarrett. Gentlemen, you both know the rules. Obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Punches below my hand here will be ruled low. Punches below my hand here will be ruled low. Touch gloves now. Come out fighting at the bell.
Charlie Fitch, third man in the ring. Jarrett Hurd coming off that draw on his resume against another former champion, Jason Rosario, a split draw last August. Not the most action-packed fight. And a lot of people thought that Rosario should have been awarded the decision, but in any event, Hurd coming off that draw, coming off mixed results, and as Brian Custer alluded to, has openly said, this fight is make or break. Same can be said for Gonzalez, you guys. He started his career with 10 consecutive first-round knockout victories, 22 KO wins before his first loss in July of 2019, and now he's looking to snap a 2-fight losing streak.
Two hungry fighters and a big opportunity here in this featured prelim. And what's interesting is Swift Hurd was in that draw with Rosario. He said the biggest thing he learned was, I need to go for the knockout and not leave it in the judge's hands. Well, that's the same thing Gonzalez said he learned against Tellez in his last fight when he came up empty. He said, I'm looking to brawl and only adjust tactically if I need to. So we'll see how these two middleweights match up.
Yoenis Tellez, by the way, will begin our pay-per-view proceedings against Julian J. Rock Williams. That fight coming up at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, a 4-fight pay-per-view with 3 championship fights, including the much-anticipated main event. One of the biggest stars, well, the biggest American star and one of the biggest stars around the world in boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis, defending his lightweight strap against current junior lightweight champion Lamont Roach Jr. But so far here in the first round, Abner Hurd putting the hurting on Gonzalez.
There, I was just going to say, I would need to see Hurd pressure. Like he said, I need to see the old Jarrett Hurd that I used to see at 154 pounds. Yes, he was so aggressive. He was a beast. He was a monster. I want that Hurd tonight.
Yes, at his peak, he had pressure, power, a gas tank that never quit. Bulldozed Tony Harrison to win a title, then slugged it out with Erislandy Lara in the fight of the year to become a unified champion. But then came Julian J. Rock Williams, who we'll see against Tellez, and he flipped the script, and Hurd said, well, now it's back to square one. It hasn't been easy since.
No, it hasn't. That has been a turning point career in Hurd, not just losing the belt, but really becoming inactive, fighting just 5 times in the last 6 years. He was a bully at 154. He broke people's wills. At 160, there are some adjustments to make for him, and he's looking to do that tonight.
Gonzalez used to a fast start, already bringing it to Hurd. He has 18 first-round KOs, and both of them fighting like, yeah, their very careers depend on it.
Definitely. It is kind of cool to see Jarrett Hurd in there because, I mean, guys, that's my generation. That's when I used to fight. So it's good to see Hurd. And again, Gonzalez, an always dangerous fighter. 35, 34 knockouts, so he definitely packs.
And yet the 160 Hurd, definitely not the 154 Hurd. In round 1, Gonzalez throwing twice as many punches as Hurd. He's thrown over 60, while Hurd has thrown just over 30. And Gonzalez has landed more, so Gonzalez looking to send Hurd into retirement.
Hey. Oh, the water. You got the water though? Fuck, you put the bucket.
Quédese largo, no se tire. Largo, papi.
Gonzalez trained by Jason Gallegos. Hurd has Andre Robin in his corner. And this is round 2, scheduled for 10 at 160 pounds. Will it be Jarrett Hurd's last stand? And Yoan Gonzalez as well. 2 losses back-to-back against Jesus Ramos and Yoenis Tellez. Nothing to be embarrassed about, but still.
Well, not at all. And you can't take Gonzalez lightly. You can't take anyone lightly who has knocked out 34 of the 35 opponents they've defeated.
And Hurd working behind the jab, but it's Gonzalez more aggressive.
Yeah, Gonzalez more aggressive, a lot more punches thrown. And Hurd, I mean, he's trying to push him back. He's trying to go back to the old him.
Is the fire still inside the belly?
That's the big question. Is it? I see the body shots there.
Jared Hurd, who continues to honor his late father, Fred, the man who pushed him into boxing, who passed away in March of 2021. Even as a unified champion, Jared Hurd lived with his parents, valuing family over fame.
I love that stat. Same thing with Chris Algieri when he won a world title. It's such an interesting proposition, but you get the support of your family to prop you up and allow you to just focus on your craft.
And Hurd, after high school, he was focused on becoming a firefighter and had regular job. Has always had that blue collar work ethic. Even though he's been at the highest levels of the sport, unified champion, never forgot where he came from, and that is Accokeek, Maryland, approximately 17 miles from Washington D.C. Population just over 10,500. The pride and joy, Jared Swift Hurd. Not so swift anymore at 160.
No, he just walked into a right hand there from Gonzalez. And then one thing to note that Gonzalez told us.
Another right hand by Gonzalez.
In the fighter meetings, he says, I have a special gift for Swift Hurd. And he said it's a looping right hand that he plans to use on the inside. So we'll continue to watch that development as they trade. Close range.
That was a great body shot by Hurd, but again, he's just pushing his punches right now and pushing with his body as well.
And following the loss to Tejas, Gonzalez said, yeah, I'm a natural brawler. I need to get more aggressive, but I've got to use strategic precision. I got to target my opponent's jabs and find out the range, dominate the distance. So it's interesting. Gonzalez wants to mix science with the savage.
Indeed, indeed. Came in here in great shape as well.
See, that's where Hurd needs to work. He's right there for the body shots.
There's that jab going upstairs and downstairs, but there's that looping right hand by Gonzalez, but smothering his offense too close to really be effective with that catapult-like right hand. Stiff jab from Gonzalez finds its mark.
See Gonzalez stepping back to avoid the right hand and then countering.
Much better round for Hurd in terms of output, but Gonzalez still outlanded him. And coming up later tonight in the co-feature, we will see Gary Antoine Russell flanked by his brother, the longtime former featherweight champion, and now his chief second after their father passed away. But Gary Russell, you talk about the entire family. They're all named after their dad. Four brothers, only 4 brothers to ever be National Golden Gloves champions, and Gary Antoine Russell, 17 wins, 17 knockouts. Yes, coming off his first loss, a split decision to Alberto Puello, but he gets right back into the championship hunt tonight when he challenges Jose Valenzuela in what on paper is a fantastic styles clash.
A virtual pick'em as well when you look at this one. So much at stake in tonight's co-feature.
2 140-pound division title fights coming your way as part of our pay-per-view. But coming your way right now, round 3 of this middleweight matchup between former unified 154-pound division champion Jared Swift Hurd and Johan Gonzalez. And Gonzalez again, first impressions, gets off to a quick start.
Quick start with that jab. He's first. Not letting Hurd get off first. And it's a battle of jabs right now.
What about the body language, Brian, of Hurd? You just not that. Again, when you remember him as this unstoppable force at 154.
He understands what a lot of us are saying by watching him, that he is a different fighter in this division. He told us this week, ultimately, when I was at 54, I was the bigger guy walking people down. Now fighters are my size. So he was looking to really set up his shots. He wants to use his right hand more, but he's getting overwhelmed by the volume of Gonzalez.
And at this fight, he actually is the much bigger guy, has a 5-inch reach advantage over Gonzalez and is an inch taller, but I know where you're coming from, and yet unable to take advantage of those advantages.
He's not. You can see it here clearly, body language, and his body's way bigger than Gonzalez. Not pushing him back, not starting off with the jab, just leaning forward and letting Gonzalez get off.
And there's that special gift Gonzalez is trying to unwrap for Hurd and of course you got to be careful because Hurd still has that high ring IQ, can try to time it, and if we'll see us in the main event. Gervonta Davis, one of the things he does better than most fighters, he takes advantage of your predictability and your patterns.
No doubt about it. You make one mistake against Tank Davis, the night ends early.
See, and there it is again. He is telegraphing it, Gonzalez.
He walked into an overhand right, Hurd, and he's already in the inside. That's what I'm talking about. You're in their work. Rip to the body.
Counter right by Gonzalez. The right hand has been key, but...
Well, I got to be honest here. I don't like that Hurd is pawing with the jab.
no,
There's
he's
not
pushing.
much behind it.
Yeah. And no sense of urgency. And again, you have to wonder, at 34 years of age, this is his 30th professional fight, has fought, I mean, maybe he left it all in the ring against Erislandy Lara in that instant classic that took it out of both of them.
Very possible. That might have been, by the way, Mo, the best fight in PBC history, if you ask me. A sensational war. But it's a new time for Jarrett Hurd. Let's see if he can adjust to what Gonzalez is bringing.
Esau Cruz versus Angel Fierro on line one. 30 seconds left in the third.
How about Santa Cruz Morris 1-2?
There you go. Yes, sir.
There's Gonzalez landing the 1 and 2 on Hurd.
Yeah, the 1-2's definitely landing on Hurd. The overhand right cleanly.
Smooth segue,
Not able to take anything from it.
10 seconds left in the round.
It's the second time Hurd was upset at a shot he thought was low.
Well, that shot hurt. He should be upset with that.
Go on. You got it.
Careful of the headbutt, Johan. Careful of the headbutt technique. Careful.
And the success that Gonzalez had in the last round, it was visible. The overhand right over and over as a right straight over jab right hand. I mean, Hurd is, he sees it, but he can't get away from it.
Hurd has been cut several times in his career.
Stop trying to load up.
Near his eyes.
Stop trying to load up.
Another cut there at the hairline. So more adversity for Jarrett Hurd. Although in the area, hopefully it won't prove to be too detrimental as we begin round 4, scheduled for 10 at 160 pounds. Two fighters that are fighting for their very lives as professional fighters on this level. You want to fight under the bright lights here in Brooklyn on the PBC Prelims on Prime Video. You've got to deliver the goods. You've got to make fans want to continue to watch you fight.
For sure. No doubt the door seems open at 160 pounds right now.
Yes, it does.
For someone to step up in a big way.
Janabek Alim Kanuli, you've got Carlos Adames, just came off that fight with Shiraz. And of course, speaking of Erislandy Lara, he's still a belt holder at 160 pounds. I know Hurd would have loved to renew hostilities with him, but you wonder just how much is left in Jarrett Hurd's tank.
Yeah, well, we're not seeing a lot from it. It seems like his body's telling him one thing. His mind is telling him one thing and his body another. You can't let his hands go.
But Brian Campbell, conversely, Johan Gonzalez doing exactly what he needs to do.
He really is. He's aggressive. He's getting off. He's timing that looping right hand. He's mixing sloppy aggression with calculated precision to a certain degree, and it is making Jarrett Hurd constantly have to adjust as he's walking into shots.
No head movement from Hurd, keeping his head on center, not off center line, no real defense, and Gonzalez landing the more effective blows and ahead in all the stats, according to CompuBox.
And that's what I'm talking about. You can't get that right hand. You can't slip the right hand, Hurd. When you see it coming, there it is.
But again, we talked about it. He is telegraphing that catapult right hand, Gonzalez, and yet Hurd unable to do anything about it, Brian.
Well, Hurd has started countering to the body with the left hand when he does see that right hand coming. That's a good development and adjustment for him. But for the most part, it feels like Gonzalez is dictating every single term in this fight thus far.
Final minute and overhand right again by Gonzalez, stopping Hurd. Hurd's hands are low. There's the jab, not a lot of oomph behind it. More of a push, as you said, and there the double jab right hand from Gonzalez. And now Hurd missing, throwing himself off balance. And again, just sitting down, So Gonzalez living up to his pre-fight promise. He is continuing to deliver a right hand.
Well, one of those pre-fight promises from Gonzalez that he told us was Swift in his prime does a great job of controlling distance. Gonzalez promised he would take that distance away from him. I'm not sure if he's taking it away as much as Hurd's giving it up to him at this point.
He's taking away the fighting spirit, perhaps, because Hurd continues to have issues with the clashing of heads, and we talked about that cut at the hairline.
On the right side of his head. His corner did well to attend to it between rounds, but you can see a little red blotch on his hair.
Let's go to Dan Canobio.
Gary, big fight coming up.
Yes.
Last time out, didn't exactly go your way. What did you learn in your first loss of your career?
Just like any fight, don't deviate. Everybody comes in the fight with a game plan, and the best tool that you can possibly do is listen, follow instructions, and execute it to your best of your ability, but definitely not deviate, you know, because that's costly.
This is one of the closest fights on the card. Your opponent can crack, you can crack. What can fans expect tonight?
A great show. Great show, and definitely somebody got to win, somebody got to lose.
Gary Antoine Russell looking to bring a title back to the D.C. area.
There we go.
So Jared Swift Hurd getting some work done as we begin round number 5, scheduled for 10 in the middleweight division. Yohan Gonzalez outlanding Hurd through 4 rounds, 83-58. And continues to just score with the basic 1-2 combination, but it's been effective. And that's mainly because Hurd is appearing to be more and more a stationary target, Abner Mares.
Really stationary, hands are down. He walks in face, head first. That's why he's getting hit with the overhand right. Again, he's known by that jab. He's known by that pressure. And okay, we're starting to see it in this round, but he forgets about it right away.
Hurd's trainer, Andre Robin, retired special ops officer. And they actually went to Colombia for part of this training camp.
Yes, they did. In South America.
I mean, as a tourist, maybe you'd love to see, but as a guy trying to get your career back on track, you're going to travel all of that way and then come all the way back. And, well. Minute gone here in the 5th. Gonzalez just has to be careful he doesn't smother his offense. There was a good left hook upstairs by Hurd.
It was countered instantly, however, by Gonzalez.
If you're Gonzalez, you want to time just the perfect moment where Hurd comes in. And he has been doing that. Yeah, and he has been doing that. But again, you got the power, so just wait for that right one to hit him right in the chin, I think he could hurt him.
Bit of a wrestling match on the inside. Fatigue already now playing a factor as we're a minute 11 away from concluding the first half of this middleweight matchup. Hurd now trying to come forward. It's another jab from Gonzalez. And there's a left hook by Hurd upstairs. Just not as accurate, not as effective as, you know, the variety, the punch placement, just not what you expect from a guy like Jared Hurd, what we've seen in this.
Certainly, with that decorated resume, former unified champion. Always had a great boxing story from the stance. He didn't pick up the sport until age 15, had a short amateur career, made the most of it. But ever since losing that title, or the pair of titles to Julian Williams, he's been trying to recover that mojo.
Yeah, we've seen that decline in his last 2 fights. The Rosario fight as well. I mean, he's just pushing his punches a lot, and we're seeing that tonight. Nothing behind the punches from Hurd. Smothering his offense. Missing a lot.
We are through the midway point of this 10-round middleweight matchup. Coming up at the top of the hour, it'll be PBC on pay-per-view from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, where Gervonta Tank Davis became a star, winning his first championship here, 2017 against Jose Pedraza. He is 8-0, or make that 3-0, I should say, at Barclays Center with the 3 knockouts. The win over Pedraza to become a champion. The win over Cuellar to become a champion. The highlight reel knockout over Rolly Romero in front of Madonna. And he is really a cultural phenomenon. I mean, rappers drop his names in songs. He's been walked out by some of the biggest names in hip-hop. He's a cultural phenomenon, a huge box office attraction. And at 30-0 with 28 KOs, the Gervonta Davis show always seems to excite. Not exactly an exciting fighter, but damn straight he's an exciting finisher.
He has a habit of forcing people to run out of tickets inside of the buildings that he shows up in.
Round number 6. And it's Joan Gonzalez. The more active, the more effective of the two fighters. Looking to upset a former unified champion at 154 pounds in Jared Hurd here at middleweight.
Well, midway point of the fight, there is still time for Hurd to turn this around. But it's got to come with that jab mattering. He counters there with the left hand.
Yeah, no, and every time he tries, Gonzalez has an answer for it. He's got a lot more speed, a lot more power.
Yeah, there was the speed on display.
Throwing a lot more, so it's only 1 or 2 punches from Hurd.
Hurd has struggled with consistency in the latter stages of his career, and again gets hit in the clash of heads. Referee instructing them to continue to fight. Charlie Fitch.
Yeah, and that eye is definitely closing up, not because of the headbutts, the overhand rights.
And he's had issues with his eyes with cuts and clashes of heads throughout his career.
Been cut in 4 separate bouts leading up to this fight. Big body shot there from Gonzalez. Sounded like a shotgun.
You heard it all the way over here. That was loud.
Hurd has been down once in his career, round 2 against Julian J. Rock Williams for losing that fight. Was stopped standing by Jose Resendiz in round 10 of their March of 23 battle. And that was due to a severe lip laceration. So again, his face has been marked up over the years.
Yeah, and he's being marked up in this fight. And now he's leaning on the ropes. That tells you that he doesn't feel comfortable anymore by going forward. And he's getting tired.
Don't push down on his head.
Final 60 seconds of the 6th. Like sands through the hourglass. Time continues to tick away. Is it ticking away on this illustrious career for Jared Hurd, who, let's not discount it. When you get to be a unified champion, that's something most prize fighters only dream of, guys. And he lived it.
He lived it, and he was a force in that 154-pound division.
And now a spent force at 160 at under 30 seconds left. Gonzalez trying to seek his knockout. Here's a guy with 35 wins, 34 KOs. Looking to close the show here.
Hurd has been taking those shots really well. But again, taking too many shots.
And not throwing enough. Only 34 punches in this round compared to 65 by Gonzalez, who outlanded him 20-7 in the 6th.
Don't let it discourage you. All right, breathe. Doc, you need to get in here. Breathe. You got to stay here. You can't let him feel. That's the hands go good. Yeah. Got to let the hands go. You step it up this round, man. 7-1. You got to put it on.
We're going to see a replay of Gonzalez's right hand having success with that. I mean, we've been talking about it, the overhand right, straight right hand. I mean, just Hurd's not able to take that right hand away.
Andre Robin becoming more of a life coach than a boxing trainer of the round, Brian. The sentence that stood out to me, don't let him discourage you.
There seems to be reason for discouragement as we're into the second half of this fight.
And this is round 7, scheduled for 10 at 160. Gonzalez again throwing the first punch, trying to work behind the jab, but there's a stiff jab that lands for Hurd, but nothing behind it.
you do get discouraged. In my last fight, when I tried to make my comeback, my body wouldn't react. I couldn't let my punches go, and you're not the same. I wish I was. I wish I was the back Leo Santa Cruz that I could throw a lot of punches, but you're not. Age catches up, and I think we're seeing that tonight against Jarrett Hurd.
Well, age and wear and tear. There's no question. To have a style like Hurd had in his
so many
prime.
Entertaining fights. And again, we go back to that Lara, the Classic was a fight of the year for the reason. And we talked about it at breakfast this morning, you guys. I mean, fights like that, entertaining as hell, but they take a lot out of the participants.
Certainly, you can leave your prime in the ring, even in a big win, but stopped Tony Harrison to win a world title, has fought some big names, and trying his best now in the second half of this fight to keep his career alive.
And for Gonzalez looking to do the same thing, would love to score the upset over a former champion and add Jarrett Hurd's name to his win column and reignite his career.
Step back, stop.
Seems to be the fresher fighter here as he just put on a combination in the corner. Didn't like the body language from Hurd right now.
No, and you're right, guy. It almost looks like he's turning back to trying to defend, and the referee almost stopped in there.
And this is where either the corner or the referee have to make a decision. 7th round. You got 4 more to go. I mean, are you going to take that much punishment? I don't know. I wouldn't if I were Hurd's corner.
And
That one, that's all clear. That one, come on.
referee Fitch
the headbutt
calling the timeout again, admonishing
Coming in with the head, too much.
Gonzalez for the head, leading with the head, and here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's Cesar Cruz style. Not to mean to make fun of this situation, but, man, he led with his head.
Battering ram.
Yeah, very much. I mean, that was Flake. I'm surprised he didn't take a point away there.
There have been many warnings up to this point from Fitch.
That was blatant.
that looked intentional.
It's like Jesse Ventura used to say, what's the difference between a thumb in the eye and a blatant thumb in the eye? Well, there's a blatant headbutt there by Gonzalez.
Time in, box.
And here we are with just over a minute left in the 7th. Jarrett Hurd has thrown a total of 15 punches.
You see the grimace from Hurd after he ate that clean jab from Gonzalez.
Meanwhile, Gonzalez has landed 18 of 51 punches as he continues to run away with this fight. 45 seconds left in the 7th. Hurd trying to fight back. Hands are down all along the ropes. All indications are that Gonzalez could very well be on the cusp of recording his 35th KO, Abner.
Yeah, he says it already. You can see that he's putting a lot more pressure, Gonzalez, letting his hands go a lot more to the body as well. So he senses that, and he's going for the kill.
Body up, nice body shot, and then a punch upstairs. Good combination by Gonzalez. There's that catapult right hand. Uppercut by Hurd on the inside. But he's just pawing with the jab, missing brutally with the right. Feet are plodding. Jarrett Hurd receiving instructions, but again, not a lot of sense of urgency in that corner. Have they almost resigned themselves to a fait accompli here? I mean, you never want to say that, but man, I was surprised by the lack of urgency. In the corner.
I'm right there with you. We were talking last round whether this could be a round that could be stopped given the condition of Swift Hurd here and how he's reacting, but not a ton of urgency in that corner.
No urgency. They don't feel like they're concerned about the fighter. They didn't ask him, are you okay? How are you feeling? Really quiet in that corner.
Break! No punches, no punches.
Thought Hurd showed a better reaction at the end of the last round where he landed some counter shots and basically gave the message that if his career's on the line, he's going to go out throwing.
Now Hurd sitting down, putting together a three-punch combination. Hand still down, eats the 1-2 upstairs, eats another clubbing right hand to the face before Gonzalez clinches with Hurd, trying to sap whatever remaining energy is out of Hurd's body here with 2 minutes left in the 8th. That overhand right has been the key weapon for Johan Gonzalez. And that head has been a weapon as well.
Definitely, that has been a weapon. And Hurd been complaining the whole fight. But again, the overhand right has been the key for Gonzalez.
Nice counter uppercut by Hurd.
Hurd still has that chin, though. He's facing a legitimate puncher.
Yeah, only been down once in his career. You're right. Guy who scored 34 knockouts and 35 wins and yet to hit the canvas in this fight. Again, up at 160. Both have done most of their work at 154.
Yeah, nothing behind those punches from Hurd. Doing a lot of wrestling there. That's going to tire him out as well. And Gonzalez just, he feels comfortable. He knows he's winning in this fight. He's picking and choosing his punches.
He seems content to hold at times, just sort of to finish off what he's doing, get to the finish line.
Not really looking for a knockout, just really trying to just win the fight. That's it.
When you're on a two-fight losing skid against very credible names, that's what you do need to do, is get back in there, win, and go home.
Crowd beginning to get excited here as they anticipate some sustained action, but time running out, 15 seconds here left in the 8th. So coming up at the top of the hour, the reason we are here back at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, it's for the much anticipated main event. A man who has sold out arenas from coast to coast. It was here in this borough that Gervonta Davis became a star, winning his first title, then won another title in this building. All told, he's 3-0 with 3 knockouts here in New York. And well, maybe yawning right now, but he's going to hope to electrify the audience when he faces Lamont Roach Jr. They are looking to put the belt in the Battle of the Beltway here in BK. Davis defending his title against amateur rival Lamont Roach. Roach, still a junior lightweight champion, but wants to become a simultaneous 2-division title holder. It's your main event, and it's all coming your way live. PBC pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. This is round number 9. Okay, Hurd coming out more aggressive than we've seen him, putting together combinations, and only, well, potential 6 minutes left.
This is the last stand. As I mentioned, Hurd definitely wants to go out punching, looking to counter here, and very aggressive early against Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzalez threw a fight-high 81 punches in the 7th round. So as we go now into the 9th, we're seeing Gonzalez still maintain the volume advantage, although Hurd trying to find a way in this round.
Yeah, trying to find a way, and if perhaps this is his last fight, he wants to leave it all in there.
No punches.
Our unofficial scorer, Larry Hazard, has Gonzalez comfortably ahead, has given 1 round, that being the 5th, to the former unified champion at 154 pounds, Jared Hurd. Body shot, another body shot from Hurd, 2 of them. A couple of short left uppercuts to the jaw, but then Gonzalez swings with the right. But Gonzalez is well power. Of course, later we get into the fight, but not as much pop on his punches anymore either, Brian.
No, not at all. Seems to be working on volume over anything else. But a couple of those counter shots from Hurd did look like they got Gonzalez's attention.
And those 2 punches as well. The right uppercut, the right hook by Hurd.
Yeah, started with the body work. It definitely hurt Gonzalez. You saw the face expression. Like that hurt me, and then Hurd turned it over as an overhand right.
Well, Hurd more aggressive by far here in round 9, but yet Gonzalez continues to fire back. The counter shots of Hurd are the biggest factor in this round.
No question about it. Sometimes Gonzalez in the second half of this fight has been a little bit lazy with those lead combinations, and Hurd has taken advantage in timing him.
Yeah, he's noticed that those body shots have hurt Gonzalez, and he's trying to place them really well.
Final minute of the 9th. Hurd leads with the left, blocked by Gonzalez. Gonzalez looks to curl the left hook behind the guard of Hurd. Hurd trying to sit down on the shots, but again, doesn't move the head off center line.
They continue to clash heads, and you can see Hurd's disgust. Big right hand.
Countered with a left from Gonzalez. 30 seconds left in the 9th. A lot of pot shotting from Hurd. There's a skip jab, another good jab by Hurd. Hurd has landed more punches than Gonzalez here in the 9th round.
Really good round for Hurd.
All things being relative, right?
Yeah, we saw a little bit of glance of the old Jared Hurd, but again, not enough.
How you feel? No, we need this round. Let's get this round. Okay.
All right, this is your last round, Jay. I need you to give me some more. Don't unnecessary.
Last round, Johan. No touch the beginning.
Last round. So put both hands up. Both hands up. Yeah, don't smother it. Both hands up. We don't want him to no unnecessary.
As long as you have separation, go back to the jab. Off the jab, you step in. Come on.
Last round of your fucking life. Let's go, man. This is it, Jared. All or nothing. Let's go.
Heading into the 10th and final round of this middleweight matchup here at Barclays Center in Brooklyn to put a capstone on the prelims on Prime Video, the PBC prelims, and let's recap the headline of this fight. Jared Hurd, the former unified 154-pound champion, said prior, this fight is make or break for my career. And he now has less than 3 minutes to try, from my vantage point anyway, to rescue his career, but referee Fitch calls it a push and not a knockdown. Again, Hurd's only been down officially once, but time is ticking away, Brian.
No doubt about it. You know that cliche about Father Time catching up in this case, but I did like the urgency from Hurd last round.
You like him on the ropes in the 10th round?
Not in this round, yeah, but the last round, you're right, Brian. He did really good. We saw a glimpse of the old Jared Hurd, but not in this round.
To buttress that, Abner, Hurd landed his fight-high 15 power punches in that 9th round.
And as a guy that's been doing damage like Gonzalez, you are going to want to finish this round and close the show.
Hurd coming forward, but just not a lot of oomph on those punches. The body language indicates the fatigue, the wear and tear, the fact that, yes, this is his 30th professional fight. You talk about the inactivity, Brian, throughout the years, and yet that wear and tear combined with inactivity, so you've got the punishing, the punishment you've endured, the rust. It's not a great cocktail.
It's a style that can be so fun to watch, so effective, so menacing, but can lead to a short shelf life on the elite level. And I think that's some of the difficulties Jared Hurd has had in recent years, injuries piling up.
And these punches are piling up for Gonzalez here in the 10th. Has Hurd on the ropes, figuratively and maybe literally as well. Gonzalez looking to close the show. Hurd trying to avoid these punches, but throwing nothing in return. Now he fires back. Under a minute left in this fight.
Just maybe under a minute left in the career of Jared Hurd. Does the old champion, the ex-champion, have one more stand in him here in the final seconds?
Uppercut on the inside by Hurd goes to the body. Gonzalez leaning in on him, trying to continue to to tire him, but Hurd trying to come forward, trying to find that money shot. The money shot for Gonzalez continues to be the right hand. Less than half a minute remaining.
Yeah, Gonzalez trying to close the show. There's a push there from Hurd. Gives him time to recuperate as well.
Like a little bit of payback for all the fouling Hurd has endured.
Hurd trying to close the show. Meanwhile, Gonzalez looked like he was looking for a double leg takedown, but some action to close the fight. They embrace, and we await the official scorecards. Does Gonzalez snap a 2-fight losing streak, return to his winning ways by claiming the biggest name on his resume? Jarrett Hurd said it before the fight, Abner, make or break.
Make him or break, and I think this is it for Jarrett Hurd. We didn't see anything from him. Not the same Jarrett Hurd. He got hurt. He got hit a lot. And
swelling around the left eye.
Should be it.
All right, well, we talked about Gonzalez wanting to give Hurd a special gift in the form of the right hand. It was the gift that kept on giving, Abner.
The punch that kept on giving, which is the overhand right. Over and over from Gonzalez, and that's why we saw the...
Why was he able to land it so effectively and so often? It was the lack of head movement.
The lack of head movement.
And the timing.
The timing, he's older, he sees the punch coming, he can't move, the reaction is not there anymore. I mean, just a lot from Hurd that we did not see in this fight.
Hurd 3-0 here at Barclays Center with 2 knockouts. First time he's fought here since a victory over Francisco Santana back in 2020. And as we await the official scores here, Gervonta Tank Davis continues to prepare in the dressing room, welcoming members of his team. And he will sell out Barclays Center. Again, I've been told the second biggest gate tonight next to a Rolling Stones concert. Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Gervonta Davis 30-0 with 28 knockouts. This is the calm before the storm. And it's a script that we have seen over and over again, downloading data like the AI-generated knockout artist, giving his opponents, lulling them into a false sense of security. Mid-round, second half of the fight, he tends to lower the boom and add to his highlight reel of KOs. 3-0 here at Barclays Center, all 3 knockouts. He's won 2 titles here, and tonight he looks to defend his lightweight crown against amateur rival Lamont Roach. But meanwhile, for Jarrett Hurd, is this the end? Let's go to our ring announcer, Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Kevin Morgan sees it 96-94 for Gonzalez. Judge Robin Taylor sees it 96-94 for Hurd. And Judge Alan Nace sees the contest 98-92 for your winner by split decision, Johan "The Cello Manotas" Gonzalez.
Collective sigh of relief emanating from Gonzalez's corner as he definitely earned that a split decision win. Should have been unanimous as he beats Jarrett Hurd for the biggest win of his career. And Gonzalez improving now to 36-4. And for Jarrett Hurd, is this it? We will find out, I'm sure, as we go inside the ring now to Brian Campbell.
Jarrett Hurd, a very tough fight, a very physical fight. You said coming in, this could be your last with a loss. What are your emotions right now about your future?
Hey, listen, man, I just want to say God is good. Both fighters made out healthy. This is my first time fighting the opponent with 3 arms, you know what I mean? And I'm a man of my word. So, you know, first of all, I want to say happy birthday to my mother and my niece, Justice. And this will be the last time y'all see me, man. I thank each and every one of y'all for, you know, the love and support. And yes, sir, I had a wonderful career.
Congratulations on a wonderful career. It was an honor to cover your fights. We'll throw it back to ringside and more Ronaldo.
Thank you very much, Brian. And Jared Hurd got married in March of last year to his wife, Ray, owns a gym, has definitely set himself up for the future. But thank you to Jared Hurd. That fight with Erislandy Lara, an all-time classic, a former unified champion at 154. Jared Hurd, he heard so good. Let's go back to Brian Custer.
Thank you, Mo. Of course, we're in the bright lights of the big city, New York City. Good look here at Times Square. Well, we're in Brooklyn, Barclays Center, new mecca of boxing here on the East Coast. Brian Custer alongside Hall of Fame trainer Joe Goosen. Saw Jared Hurd just hang him up. This guy was at the top of the 154-pound division at one time, a unified champ. Says he's hanging him up.
And I think that's a great idea, to tell you the truth. He looked nothing like Jared Hurd of the past. You know, I announced his fight when he fought J-Rock, where J-Rock took his title, and even till the last round, he was very dangerous in that fight that he was losing. But you could see the reflexes weren't there. He was getting hit with right hands because he kept his left hand so low all the time. And Gonzalez knew it. He took a lot of shots to the head. He took a lot of rabbit shots. He got hit with a lot of headbutts. That was a very rough fight for Jared Hurd, and I'm glad he's hanging him up, because he doesn't have it anymore. You know, he's lost more than just one step. It's a couple of steps. And to get hit to the head like that over and over again for 10 rounds, it's just unnecessary. But he had to prove it to himself whether he had it or not, and he doesn't. But I appreciate what he did give us when he was on top of the game. He was a great fighter.
Gentleman of the sport.
Really, he's just a great guy.
Yep.
He really is. He's a good man. And I don't like to see those things happen to good guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, I say salute to you, Jared Hurd, because you did reach to the top. Now, again, at the top of the hour, we begin our pay-per-view broadcast, and for this arena in this city, it is special for Gervonta Tank Davis, because it's been a little more than 8 years since Gervonta Tank Davis bust on to the worldwide scene here in this building. He was 22 years old, challenging the undefeated super featherweight champion Jose Pedraza, and it was a star-making performance as Gervonta's quick lightning hand speed, the precise punching power just dazzled this Brooklyn crowd and the opponent, before Tank ultimately got the knockout in round 7, became boxing's youngest active champion, and put Baltimore on his back and Baltimore on the map as their first world champion in more than a decade. And the one thing that I come away with when you talk about Gervonta Tank Davis, the record number of people, he sells out arenas. This is going to be the second largest audience ever here at Barclays, only behind the Rolling Stones. Tell me why does this guy have so much commercial appeal?
Well, I mean, because he's explosive, he's charismatic, he's powerful, he's determined, he's just got everything you want to see in that ring as a audience. And he's like I said, he's compelling. You just saw that little clip against Pedraza. I mean, he puts everything behind a short shot or a long shot. It doesn't matter. Everything comes from the floor, but it's all controlled. It's fast. It's hard hitting. It's accurate. And he throws in combinations too. He just does everything. He's got charisma. He's likable. People love to see him fight, and he takes on all the best opponents. He never dodges anybody. And if somebody challenges him, whether it's a contender or a champion or a former champion, he beats them all. And it's like, you know, then you go, well, who can beat this guy? Sometimes you go out there just to see if anybody can be competitive or beat him. And nobody's come close. Nobody. So, I mean, that's the reason why. Look, if there's a pay-per-view and I'm a fan, I'm sitting at home, he's the one guy I'm definitely going to pay-per-view to watch.
So when you talk about finding a guy to beat him, Lamont Roach, the Reaper, steps into the arena and into the ring tonight. He says he has the tools to beat him. You have your own tools. You say these are the tools that you must possess if you're going to beat Gervonta Tank Davis. Walk us through those.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a fictional opponent I'm drawing up here. You've got to be bigger than him. It would help. You have a better reach than him. That would help. Number two, you got to be athletic. All right, because he is extremely athletic. Tank Davis. He's just not a powerhouse. He's athletic as well. So you got to be athletic. You got to have a good chin. You're going to get hit by this guy, and you better have a good chin. And then lastly, if you don't have a hard enough punch to make him think twice about just tracking you down, running at you, putting on the earmuffs and just tracking you down like he did Frank Martin, you're in trouble. You got to have all four of those qualities to think about beating Tank Davis, and I don't know who's got them.
Well, listen, folks, don't forget, all of it comes right here at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here from Barclays Center. 3 world title fights coming your way. Baltimore versus D.C. on the main stage. For Joe Goosen, Mauro Ranallo, Brian Campbell, Abner Mares, Dan Canovio, I'm Brian Custer. We'll see you at the top of the hour.